What? What, I'm supposed to be ecstatic right now? Cause what? Cause the Eagles bounced back against the Miami Dolphins, beat them pretty convincingly and handedly, 31-17. Managed to slow down the number one ranked offense in the league. So I'm supposed to be happy about that? You're right. I'm absolutely freaking ecstatic. Woo! Man, what a bounce back. I mean, there were still some rough patches. I mean, it's definitely a huge improvement compared to last week against the Jets. And I tell you what, I mean, son of a gun, Jalen Hurts, he needs to clean up the turnovers and stop spotting the other team free points. You take away the 10 points Miami cashed in on the turnovers, this would have been a 31-7 blowout. Like, honestly, the Eagles could have blown out the Dolphins. And if you think about it, despite all the turnovers, this Eagles offense could have put a lot more points on the board all season long. And I don't know if keep throwing Brian Johnson under the bus, myself included, or we start pointing fingers at Hurts or some other kind of miscommunication on offense, but somehow the Eagles are in ball games and they're winning. It ain't pretty. It's all gritty. It's all been dramatic, but they're still finding ways to win. So that's a plus. And yeah, all the haters, non-Eagles fans or quote-unquote people that know professional sports like the back of their hand are just simply calling them out and saying they're bribing the refs. Really? Like, we just can't have it easy? Okay, yeah, so Miami got penalized 10 times for 70 some odd yards, and the Eagles had none. That was an astounding feat to me. The Eagles had no penalties. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I clearly saw they got away with some shit. But let's be real, who doesn't? Yes, the Chiefs get most of the attention when it comes to, favoritism from the officiating. And I'm willing to wager probably my Eagles are second, maybe the Browns. I mean, did you see how bad the Colts got screwed over? Holy crap. I don't care what they say to justify it. The ball was uncatchable. So what if the defender made early contact with the receiver? If the ball ain't catchable, pick the flag up. You literally just fucked the Colts over. However, I'll say this. It's the same all the way around. Someone's going to get breaks, someone's not. It does not matter who it is. And this is all sports or the professional level. Yes, folks, sometimes maybe the games are choreographed. And you know why they do that? Because there's money riding on this shit. You think they give you think that the NFL and the people that sponsor them, and not to mention whoever else might be involved, we'll leave unmentioned. Yeah, there's some big buku bucks that are writing that they don't care if it's all on pure talent. If the powers that be want it to be this way, that's how it's gonna be. Fuck how good you think your team is. Don't act like your team hasn't gotten a break here and there, because we've all said, oh, we got away with one there. Like, give me a break. It's all fun and games when the breaks go your way, but when they go the other way, then you start crying foul. Listen, folks, the officials have made bad judgment calls, terrible calls, and have always been convinced and have always been called out for being paid off for years. It's just getting more attention now because of social media. You don't think they've had these conversations back in our parents' days? Get real. Don't fucking cry to me about NFL, about referee favoritism. Because as an Eagles fan, oh yeah, we'll keep saying that Bradbury was bullshit penalized all the way to the bank. Everybody gets fucked. All right? And I'm an Eagles fan. You don't think we haven't gotten fucked over time and time again? Don't fucking cry to me about NFL officiating. Fuck you people. Holy shit. God damn. Hey, listen. The Dolphins were well in that game. The Eagles tried to keep them in that game. Jalen Hurts tried to keep them in that game, and he still outdid Tua. He still outperformed him. And that's the funny thing about Jalen Hurts. It's a double-edged sword. As good as he can also look really bad. But when he does fuck up, he makes up for it 10 times over. So, he's consistent at that. Like, when he does have a bad play, he immediately makes up for it. You gotta give him that. I think he's the perfect type of player for Philadelphia. Oh, man, total drama. I mean, in the physical, I let my play do the work sense. Like, that's the one nice thing about Hurts. Doesn't run his mouth a lot like other ignorant athletes do. Although, if you've seen his speeches to his teammates, holy moly, does that guy like to drop the F-bomb. But hey, you know what? He's their leader. They stand by him. That's all that matters. Hurts gets the job done no matter how fucking frustrating the offensive play calling is this time. Ay, ay, ay. And, hey, they start... And, I will give Brian Johnson this. They started out looking like the same old bullshit. That opening drive, whatever reason, they started calling quarterback draws, keepers, or sneaks, whatever the fuck that was, and he just folded up like a cheap suit. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but I'm glad they abandoned it after that. And after they fell behind, or no, wait, what am I talking about? They never fell behind. Jesus, that was the other odd thing. They never trailed once in this game. Then again, they never trailed in the Jets game, and we all know how that ended up. So, you take away all the bullshit, and the Eagles would still be undefeated. But perfection's overrated. So that's off the plate. So now they can focus on the real prize. Beating the Dallas Cowboys. Winning the Super Bowl. But you know what? We need to take this 1 week at a time. Because even though everybody keeps calling this Eagles team fraudulent, you know what? Every team is fucking fraudulent. Because, goddamn, I went 5-8 in my picks this past week because fuck trying to figure out this NFL season. Does anybody want to look good or like what we thought they would look like? Buffalo Bills? Detroit Lions? What the fuck was that? We'll get more into that later, but let's wrap up my final thoughts about the Eagles beating the Miami Dolphins. Well, I'm happy. I mean, what else can I say? They actually looked good. They looked better than they did last week. I mean, you couldn't look any fucking worse than that. Like, damn. But player of the game, I think it definitely has to go to A.J. Brown. Like the 5th straight game, that guy's had 125 plus receiving yards, and he was balling. He was balling for Hurts and the team. And of course, even though he's the player of the game, Darius Big Play Slay had the play of the game. The interception off Tua that he was trying to get to Mostert to tie the game then, and that pretty much sealed it. The offense took over, did their thing. We saw a bunch of tush push, and they locked it up. I was impressed. Yes, I know. The Dolphins got penalized a lot. Yes, you could say there was some bullshit, but that's every game. Some team gets the breaks, the other team don't. That's just, how it's like clockwork. The world keeps on spinning. But I will admit, maybe they're starting to figure it out. Maybe, like I said, the Jets' loss was the wake-up call they needed. Again, things still didn't look pretty, but they patched it up during the game. They patched up some shit. Still got work to do, but you know what? As long as they keep saving the best to come, we can only hope. So, I'm sure all of us were wondering why they signed Julio Jones for a wide receiver. I mean, why did they have to sign another third stringer? I mean, don't get me wrong. The experience and what's the word I want? I want to say magnetism or something, but anyway, the experience and mature. Can I say maturity? I mean, how often do you see a mature wide receiver, if you know what I mean? Magnetism? I don't know why. I can't think of anything else that sounds clever. All right, so at least the experience and knowledge that Julio brings to feed to AJ and Devontae is, boon. But as a playmaker, I don't know. He had at least one catch during that game, I believe. So, hey, at best they brought him in as a third string receiver. So we'll see how that goes. Still got a long season yet to play. But then Howie Roseman turns right around and makes a huge splash and signs, or I should say, has traded for Kevin Byard or Beard, whatever, however you want to pronounce that. He's now Kevin the Bird. He's come home to play for the hometown team, Philadelphia Eagles. That's kudos, man. And all they gave up was some other guy whose name I can't remember, and like was it a 6th and 7th round pick? Nah. I think it was. Holy crap. So in a sense, the Eagles got Kevin Byard for a steal, which is huge for the secondary, considering how dinged up they are right now. Oh, yes. And another thing to touch on. They want to say that, the Miami Dolphins weren't at full strength. Yeah, well, neither were the Eagles secondary. Don't feed me that cockamamie garbage. It's always something. Oh, this team's not at full strength. Yeah, well, neither's that team. Who is ever at full strength? Get the fuck real. Hell, the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears didn't have their respective starting quarterbacks, and they looked a lot better without them. So, yeah, don't make excuse and hide behind injuries, the refs, or any other kind of bullshit. If your team is destined to win that game, they'll find a way. Life finds a way. Probably one of the most famous movie quotes of all time that just summons up life perfectly. Life will find a fucking way. Just like the Diamondbacks found a way to come back and take the NLCS from the Phillies. And I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't stay up to watch the game, but I was dead tired. Like, I missed the first few innings anyway because I fell asleep on the couch. So I was like, I need to go to bed. That's like, oh my God, just please win this, Phillies. And they didn't. I woke up about like 3 in the morning after 6 straight hours sleep. Immediately got to my phone, checked the scoreboard. And to my dismay, the Phillies season is over. It's disappointing. I don't understand what happened. I mean, when it comes to baseball, like, momentum is weird. Because how do they go from dominating game 2 to then choking games 3 and 4? They dominate game 5 and just absolutely shit the bed in their own ballpark. I mean, they got fucking hosed in game 6. Aaron Nola, like, of all games, you guys chose to play your worst, and you couldn't catch up from it. It's like, I knew right away when Ranger Suarez started on the mound for the decisive game 7, I was like, I ain't sure that's the guy you want for game 7. I mean, he did fair, but in the end. And Zach Wheeler as a relief pitcher? How desperate were, they were just desperate. I mean, cheesy pun, the Phillies got snake bit. They got snake bit hard. And I don't get it. It just, how? How? You had all the momentum. Just, how did you let it go? I mean, you can't discredit the Diamondbacks. They did their part. It just, the Phillies just choked. There's just no getting around it. You can feed me all the statistics in the world, and it just still won't make no sense to me. We didn't get the World Series we wanted. We wanted Phillies Rangers. Nope. Divine Intervention wanted Diamondbacks and Rangers. It is what it is. And I'm still pulling for Texas. Not just because the D-backs beat my team, but Texas never won the World Series. D-backs at least got one title. So, why not Texas? To add more salt to the wound, or the definition of irony, the 6th seed was incorporated last season by Major League Baseball. The 6th seed had just been brought into effect for 2022, and the Phillies got in because of that and got all the way to the World Series. Now this year, it's the Diamondbacks. So the 6th seed in the NL is 2-0 right now since this got incorporated. You gotta love the irony in that. Damn it, Phillies. I'm so disappointed that I really can't say congrats to a wonderful season because it shouldn't have ended. You guys should have swept that series. After sweeping Miami, sweeping Atlanta, who both had winning records against you in the regular season, and then here comes the Diamondbacks, who, granted, the regular season result was 4-3. I think that was in favor of the Phillies. I'm not entirely sure. And now it's 4-3 Arizona. Yep. I can honestly say this hurts worse than 2011. I'm not kidding. Like, that hurt just as well because I really thought that 2011 squad, they should have won the World Series. They were way better than the two teams that made it in 08 and 09. They couldn't even get past the first damn round. Yeah, I can honestly say that this hurts worse. Because I, like most everyone else, thought this was the Phillies' year, and it should have been. And instead, we get the Snakes and the Rangers. And I'll say this right now. If Arizona doesn't show up for that World Series, if they don't at least win a couple games, if they don't at least make this shit interesting, I'm going to be really super pissed. Because you got all the Diamondbacks, the players, the fans talking all kind of shit now on social media. So I swear to God, if you fuckers don't show up for that World Series and give the Rangers a decent fight, I am seriously going to call out that organization so goddamn bad. Knocking off Milwaukee, I'm not saying anything because it's Milwaukee. They choke. That's all they do. The Dodgers, that was expected because they had no pitching. The Phillies, that's a commendable victory, Arizona. That is a commendable victory. Now go finish it. And if you at least don't try to make it interesting, and you just fucking wasted everybody's time, including yours, well, then you motherfuckers ought to be shipped off to other teams. And your franchise ought to be suspended for a whole year, because that's going to be some serious bullshit if you don't play in that World Series. I will be so more pissed off than the fact that my team choked to you. But let's get beyond that. So, the Phillies choked. As a Philadelphia sports fan, you're used to postseason disappointment. It's just how it is. We can't have nice things because you see what happens. When the people in Philadelphia see their sports team win a title, they try to burn the city down. Aren't you supposed to do that when the team loses? I don't know. They go absolutely monkey crazy. But then again, you know what? Why is it that Philadelphia fans are the butt end of all these jokes? I've seen other sports fans get just as rowdy, get called out just as much by, their division rival fans. I mean, goddamn. Are the Philadelphia sports fans really that bad? I mean, I'm not that damn crazy. I don't, hence why I don't live near Philadelphia. But still, I mean, why are they always getting picked on? Don't act like you don't do something that's kind of shady. And here's what I will say. If you're someone who likes to bash on Philadelphia sports fans, but deep inside you've got some skeletons in the closet, you better hope they don't come out. Because if you get exposed, yeah. You'll have every right to hang up your so-called journalism skills, shut down your podcast channel, and go reflect on your life. Because to me, there is nothing more criminal than a hypocrite. You say one thing, you talk about someone behind their back, and you turn around and do the same fucking thing. Okay, so maybe the Philly fans are a little more brash. So what? Everybody's doing it. Why do they get special attention? Did they do something to your mama? Just because they threw snowballs at Santa Claus? Like, folks, it's not even a real fucking Santa Claus. It was just some jerk in a Santa outfit. And they were pissed off. Their team was losing. Oh, we're supposed to be happy. Santa Claus is here. He's going to make everything all better. Do you got to win in that sack, fat boy? I mean, people need to get real. It's like Jason Kelce said all those years ago when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Yeah, there's a reason why the fans are always disgruntled. We don't fucking eat breakfast. We're fucking pissed off. Or if our teams don't eat the wins, we're fucking pissed off. So yeah, getting off of that. Disappointing how the Phillies ride ended. But ecstatic that the Eagles are back on the winning track. The 49ers. I mean, I don't want to believe there's a rivalry yet with this team because it's like that was one bad experience, that past NFC Championship, which I didn't know anything about until I started reading social media posts from the fans and the players. And it's like, wow, you guys sound like a bunch of sore losers. I mean, it'd be okay if you beaten the Eagles. I mean, let's be real. When people lose, nobody likes to lose. Some of them can't handle it as well as others. and they act like sour grapes. But you know what? Keep your comments behind closed doors. You know, don't be fucking like, don't act irrationally. Because you're going to say things you may not mean and you're going to fucking regret. You know, it's really the Eagles' fault that you guys fell apart in the NFC Championship. I'm just saying. Is it also the Eagles' fault that you guys got your ass handed to you by the Browns and the Vikings? Now you gave Minnesota fans hope. Of course, any rational Minnesota fan will be thinking, this is a good win, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, of course, San Francisco's dinged up. But again, that goes back to me saying, well, don't make excuses with the injuries. Because any other time, it'd be like, you know, if you beat that other team and they were hurting, you would have said, oh, don't make excuses because you're hurt. So don't make excuses. You lost, you lost. A win's a win. I don't care what statistics say. That's like predicting the weather. It's a crapshoot. Everyone thought Miami would beat the Eagles. And look what happened. I mean, who the hell had on their fucking bingo card that Miami would get 10 penalties and the Eagles would get none? Yeah, man, you thought week 6 was weird. Week 7. Like, I don't get it. I can't figure out this season anymore. Because it's like, teams that I think should be good are pissing the bed. Like, again, San Francisco, Buffalo. What the fuck? Are you serious, Bills? You let Mac Jones outperform Josh Allen? I mean, Josh Allen, like Jalen Hurts, is his own worst enemy half the time, but still, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Everybody just wants to move past the Patriots dynasty so bad that because Brady's not there anymore, that we just want to assume they suck. Well, they still got Bill Belichick, who apparently just got a new deal. But that doesn't mean anything. Depending on how they finish the season, he could still get fired. Although I highly doubt he would ever get fired. I'm sure Robert Kraft would give him the option of retiring with like full benefits or something. But yeah, I mean, Buffalo, are you a fucking Super Bowl contender or not? Because like every time we want to think that you're figuring it out, then you pull this kind of shit. So I don't know what to think of you. I mean, are they playing this Thursday night? Yeah, they are. They're playing the Buccaneers. So can they beat Tampa Bay? I don't fucking know anymore. Your guess is as good as mine. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa beats them. Would anybody? Would anybody be surprised anymore on how this season plays out? I wouldn't. I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I was like, I really thought Miami would torch the Eagles secondary. Nope. Let's see, what was another one that stunned me? Oh, yeah. The Lions. Did you not show up? Like, damn, Detroit. You got fucking hosed. And I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone else was just as shocked. Because it's like, where the hell was this Baltimore team all year so far? Like, damn, it's like they just suddenly figured it out. And Detroit, again, where were you? I mean, fuck. I mean, it's one thing losing maybe like 21-6, but damn, 38-6. Maybe they just can't beat the Ravens. I mean, remember, Justin Tucker had that dramatic 66-yard field goal to beat them the last time these two teams hooked up. So maybe they just can't beat the Ravens. The Ravens are the Lions' kryptonite. But I tell you what, I actually enjoyed it. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually enjoyed watching the Lions get their ass beat. And you want to know why? Humility reasons. You guys are getting too loud, too overconfident. For what? What have you done? Are we still going to say, well, we beat the Chiefs week 1? Yeah, whoop-de shit. Kansas City's won 6 games since. Both them and the Eagles are 6-1, the only 2 teams 6-1. And already people are talking about them being the better teams again. Again, Detroit, the smack talking, the being brash thing, that's just not you. Okay, yes, you don't want to be losers anymore. You don't have to be assholes like the rest of us to be a fucking winner. You can find other ways to do it. So this was a perfect humility lesson for you. Because you haven't done anything. You haven't made the playoffs yet. You haven't even won the division yet. You guys haven't even won an NFC North title since the NFC North became a thing. You haven't won a division title since I was in first fucking grade, 1993. So what have you all done? You've never even been to the Super Bowl. Where the fuck is this coming from? I get it. You're fed up. You're fed up with being the bottom dwellers of your division. All right. But you know what? How about you actually do something first? Win the division. Get to the NFC Championship. Get to the Super Bowl. Maybe win the Super Bowl. And then you can talk. Get it all off your chest. You'll have the whole off season to talk shit. But in the meantime, try to remember where you're coming from. Because, listen, the more you get over your heads, the bigger that bullseye gets. I'm trying to remember who all you have coming up this weekend. It should be a bounce back win for you all. I know that. I have it written down. It was Monday Night Football. You guys are playing Monday night. Who the fuck is the Lions playing? That's a winnable game. Shit. No, it's not the the Vikings are playing the Packers. Who the fuck are you guys all playing? I'm pretty sure it's a winnable game. Is it Atlanta? No, it's not Atlanta. Is it the Rams? No, it's not the Rams. Raiders! You're playing the Raiders. That's right. Yeah. Now, on paper, that should be a bounce back win. Because the Bears beat the Raiders. And they even had Justin Fields. Who the heck was that guy? Oh my God, I should have wrote the name down. Baggett or something? Like, either way, whoever thought to pick him up in fantasy definitely made out like a bandit. So did the guy that had the Vikings wide receiver. What was his name? Addison Johnson? Fucking torched me in fantasy. Son of a bitch. What a play that was. Literally ripped it right out of the defender's hands and took off. Son of a bitch, San Francisco. What the hell? I mean, again, injuries suck, but it's part of the game. Oh yeah, speaking of injuries, apparently Jalen Hurts was hurt during the second half of the game with the Dolphins. I didn't hear anything about that. Nobody said anything. He didn't even look hurt. Although it would explain why he's been slower running the ball for half the season, if that's the excuse. But apparently it was diagnosed as, I had it written down here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, here it is. A knee injury, but the team is just writing it off. They're saying it's a minor deal, and it's been reported there's no structural damage, so he should be good to go for a good while. But yeah, back to you, Lions. This is not only a bounce back win, this is a must win. Because the Bears pummeled the Raiders. So, you guys, this is where, you stop the bullshit. You figure out who you are. You are a good football team. I'm willing to admit that. I knew you were already a good team. You guys were good last year. You just barely missed the playoffs. You took my Eagles to the wire week 1 last year. I already knew you were a good team. Goff's been to a Super Bowl. You have playmakers. And everybody loves your head coach. He's exactly what you needed. But this fucking arrogance, just tone it down. Like, fuck. You guys act like you're the fucking Raiders from the 70s or something. It's like, dude, you're the Lions, not the Raiders, who you better fucking beat, I'm telling you what. Because if you guys lose again, and say a certain, team from Wisconsin should also shut another team up north up. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If y'all watch Tom Grossi's episode of the NFC North's reaction to Week 7, yeah, the Vikings fan character getting a little too cocky himself already. Yes, that was an impressive win against Minnesota. Well, there goes my credibility. Yes, that was an impressive win against San Francisco, but don't act like you ultimately kicked their ass. Like, you left some points off the board there, to be fair. You made the plays that you needed to, but, you kind of caught San Francisco at a bad time, just like Cleveland did. So, yeah. For Lions fans' sake, you better hope the Packers lose, and you better fucking win. Alright? Let's knock off the bullshit. You're a good team. You don't need to prove that to me. What you do need to prove is that you can win without having to shovel shit in everyone's face. Because that just getting old real quick. Let's see. The Birds have the Commanders coming up. Well, everybody's already writing off Washington again. But, yeah, come on. This team took them to overtime, and the Commanders are a goddamn pest. And they're coming off of a stunning loss to the Giants. Not that stunning. I mean, come on, Washington. You've obviously got problems. Like, I'm sorry, but you need a better quarterback. And you obviously need better weapons all the way around. Or maybe not. Maybe the weapons just need a better quarterback. The O-line needs some tuning up. Defense isn't that bad. Obviously. So maybe you just need to get rid of your coaches. I don't know. Or, I hope they stick around so that way you guys can, stink it up a little more. But I'm already expecting another dogfight. Like, I guarantee you the Eagles will not have a blowout win this season. Even when they get to the Giants, somehow those games will be interesting too. But first things first, gotta sweep the Commanders. They can do it. It's just a matter of, will they do it? And yeah, Phillies, what should have been the year, but hey, at least you knocked off the Braves and the Marlins. So, it's not all bad. But now, thankful God we still got the Birds, because what the hell else do we got to look forward to? The Flyers? Yeah, okay. See what they do this year. Try not to be too disappointing. And the Sixers. Oh boy, there's a circus in itself. Trust the process. Yeah, the process of not living up to potential when it really matters. Tell me I'm wrong. I really hope the Eagles do something because, oh my God, if they can't, it's going to be a long winter with the Sixers and the Flyers. Alrighty, folks, I think that's going to do it for me for the night. If y'all watch this video, I thank you. If you like it, give me the thumbs up. Shoot me a few pointers too, I'm open to trying to make this a lot better and stuff. Well, alrighty, y'all. Have a good weekend. Hopefully we have some more entertaining games. And, yeah, if anyone can figure out this NFL season, lay me in on the mathematics. Because at this point, it's a crapshoot. Good teams that should win just find ways to lose. Plain and simple. Alrighty, folks. Everybody, have a good night. Have a fun weekend.